So this is a little video that's documenting the guitar that you're looking at. It looks like a parlor guitar, but it's bigger. This is a O size guitar. This was about the largest guitar you could get at the time. I have a friend who used to do a lot of violins, and now he's doing guitars. He specializes in setting necks. I specialize in fretwork. So he resets necks for my guitars, and I'm refretting this guitar. We'll take a little bit more of a look at it, and then we may follow and watch the fret job. So it's probably about 100 years old, and this was a mid to upper range guitar. The body is solid mahogany, and these decorative inlays, this purfling or marquetry, is real. The Regals use a decal, but this is at least the mid or the lower end ones. The back has been off of this guitar, and this is not the original binding, but it's back together. There's a little gap here that could be filled. I didn't do this work, but it's well done. Trying to get these back together. There's a trick I've learned. This is a crack that's been cleated. You can see it when you look inside. Anyway, it came without a tailpiece. It was made with a bridge. It's solid mahogany back and sides. This is excuse me. It's a rosewood overlay. It's a real rosewood overlay on here. You don't find that on the cheaper guitars. And the fretboard is rosewood, solid rosewood. It's not dyed black. I think the guy who, now it's also been X-braced. The back was removed to X-brace the guitar. And who knows what else. Anyway, I think the fellow who did the work also made this bridge. I'm not sure of that, but I believe that may have happened. The guiding principle being keeping the original bridge holes, probably. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to refret this guitar. What I dealt with is, primary reason, there's no way to adjust the neck, and this had a significant bow in it. See, you're okay here, but in here, there exists quite a bow. Some of that could be taken out just by removing these frets and sanding the end, but my fret jobs are legendary, and there is a slight curvature here. They made the good ones with a slight curvature. That's to prevent cupping or dishing, some kind of dinnerware over the years. Also, when I do this, I'm going to put that arch in just a little more to facilitate bar chords. And that's, people love that extra little arch. So, this is what I'll be doing for the next 2 evenings, probably. These are my eyes for seeing fretboard. This is absolutely flat. This is 4/1000ths of an inch thick. That's about the thickness of a piece of 20-pound bond copy paper. Well, remember, we got a upturn on this end, which we can see. We're good there. Now we got a bow until up there. So I'm doing 2 things. Remember, this is 40/1000ths low because the frets have been pulled. I took the frets out, and look, careful removal has left no chips, no chips. It's because it's good wood. They made the slots pretty nice, and I took them out good. So anyway, right now the neck has been reset. And this thing goes almost exactly to the top. It's just like 5 thousandths under the top. But this isn't full thickness either. So I'm going to remove some material from up here. You can see the bow is even, so I'm going to take some out from here in addition to here to try to maintain or increase the upward angle or downward angle here. I'm going to take some off of here to keep a good neck angle. I don't want to worsen the neck angle. So this is a flat block of wood. Put it on the belt sander. Zoom. This is a piece of belt sandpaper, and it's not as rough as I'd like, but it's new, so it'll cut. So the rest is just sand and measure, and don't come back here and sand the sound hole. So for the next 2 hours, if the video camera was streaming, you would simply see me sanding and measuring. Right now, I'm just trying to establish one single flat, level plane. I mean, flat guy. Remember back here, we're doing it back here. So, this ain't really strong sandpaper. It'll take me a while, but the hardest way is the best way. Coarser. 40. Then we'll go to 60. Anyway. Same 4th thou. We're good now till here. We've gone all the way. We've taken the high spot out and reduced this. We just have this spot in the middle. Keep going. So it really hasn't been 2 hours. It's been more like 15 minutes of sanding. And we're now at we're level here all the way down. And here we have one little space. We'll sand it out. I'm only taking from the high spots. Some of this will have almost nothing removed because it was the low spot. All right. 2 or 3 more minutes of sanding and we're good. Right here it's going to start going, well, right there I let it go down on purpose. We'll do it to 3 thou. That's where I'll stop. 3. We'll start sanding with finer paper. It's basically flat within 3 thousandths of an inch, right down the center. Now we're going to work that to where it's got a slight arch this way, and it's absolutely straight where each of the 6 strings will go. Now I'm going to repeat the process that I did here. I'm going to do it here and here, and by that time it'll be pretty well interpolated. For example, right now, see, you still have the bow. There's a little chunk here, high here, and it's bowed from here to there. So we'll just keep doing the same thing until it's absolutely straight. Again, these are my eyes. This is how you see thousandths of an inch. This thing needs to be flat within plus or minus a thousandth of an inch when the frets are leveled. So right now, what I found is we're good. Listen, anyway, right here. So we're high right there. And just right here, we're low. So I know I only sand this. I can see only sand that. That's how it works. Shut it off a little early because I have to sand that. So my pressure is only here. This is straight, so it's integrating. We're done. Surface plates in machine shops at one time were finally leveled with scraping. This is how it's done. Surface block is plus or minus the wavelength of smoke. So it's just, wow, the camera's running. See? I think we saw that. You can, it's flat as a bat beyond here. So a little more discussion. Many people make this get less and less as it hits the sound hole. From here to here, they'll slant it down. That's called drop off or fall off. It's a plan for failure. I use it as little as possible. People expect some fall off, so I integrate it, but it's really a plan for failure when the neck comes up to try to keep it level, but by that time, it's too late. Anyway, more sanding and measuring. I'm repeating the process for this side. Lots here, none here, lots here. Quickly, there's no time. So I know I keep blocking the view, but it's about another 5 minutes of sanding and we're good to go. Here, here, and here. I'll also check to make sure that basically wherever the actual string is, I will. But by that time we will have interpolated this curve. And can also eyeball how much of it we're getting. Here's the, I neglected to really light the whole scene. Oh well. You see the shadow helps illustrate the curve. Where are we? Let's see it? Ha ha. So we have a curve. It's not really that much. We have our Stumac fret arching machine that we will employ shortly. Not this much. So we're going to get this down to 220 and keep maintaining flat within plus or minus a thou. This is 3, so it's plus or minus a thou and a half. Who's counting? I'm just finishing up. I've got this to where it's flat everywhere this way with the constant arch, but giving a little more arch. Sometimes I think I hear it talk to me. It says, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Not all the time, just right here. Anyway, we're almost ready to put frets in. So we're shooting from the other side now. See if I can. Anyway. We're about done here, except for a 220. She falls off right here. That's what everybody wants. And it doesn't fall off much either. Look at that. Over here. So, now also this thing right here is a plastic, it's a yogurt container lid that I've cut the ridge off, and it's held up against there to keep all the dust out of the sound hole. Everybody will be happier that way. So we're going to sand this to 220, 320 and make sure the slots are clear, and then arch the frets and install them.